What's going on, everyone? It's Brandon with Code You Find Jewelry. Sure, personal jewelry. When buying gold jewelry, the question always is this legit? Is this real gold? Did I get scammed, ripped off? And you can never be 100% certain unless you go get it professionally tested, but this is a quick video for free that you could watch, and hopefully these tips and tricks, things to look out for things I've learned over the years, can help you identify if your gold chain bracelet is legit or not. With that being said, let's get started. You can never be 100% certain unless you go get it professionally tested, but these few tips will help weed you out, filter out if it's obviously fake or you have a little hope that it is real. Number one being the end caps and the clasp. Everything that you need to know should be on the end caps. The purity, the country of origin, there could be a company on there, company logo. That's all good stuff, but what we really want to focus on is the purity stamp. No purity stamp, that is a red flag. You want to have or look for a purity stamp. Let's use 14 karat for example, because some people get confused. They see 585 and they freak out. What is this? Is this silver? No, that is another way of saying 14 karat gold, because 585 is 58.5% pure gold, which is what 14 karat gold is. Other parts of the world use the percentage instead of the purity stamp like we do, or the carat stamp. In the United States, it's mainly 10 karat, 14 karat, 18 karat. So you want to see that. You do not want to see anything really attached to that, especially if it starts with a G, like GF gold filled, GP gold plated. Most of the chains, now there are exceptions. There's really shady people out there that will try to just blatantly do this, but most of the time, I would say 9 out of 10 times, if you're looking at a chain, if you're buying it in the store, buying it from a friend, or if you found it on the beach, if you look at it, the markings should be pretty accurate as far as what it is. So it says 14 karat GF, that's gold filled or gold plated, and Google is your best friend. You can always Google exactly what it says 14K. If it has something else, look it up, and then it's pretty basic, common stuff. That's what you want to find. The country of origin is not that important. I know a lot of people say, oh, if it's not stamped Italy, it's fake. That is not true. That is just where the chain is from. Our rope chains that we sell don't have a country of origin. They're made in Peru. Legally, they don't have to put that on there, so it's not on there. There's going to be a company stamp. There's going to be a purity stamp. Now, you might have a piece or that just has a purity, nothing else, and you're probably freaked out about it. You don't necessarily have to, because it could be a circumstance where a jeweler simply took a piece, put on aftermarket end caps and a lobster clasp, and it is all 14 karat gold. You just hope that you could trust that. I've seen, and we've had situations in the past where we had maybe 16 inches worth of just a rope chain, and we said, you know what, we don't want to scrap this, we're not going to sell it as a chain, we're going to cut it, put aftermarket end caps and a lobster clasp. It is 14 karat gold. I just didn't have the company end caps to put on there. I bought aftermarket end caps. Everything was. We don't do that anymore, but that might be a case example of something that just has the purity and no company stamp or any other markings. Also, a good thing to check is the lobster clasp itself. Now, people are good at faking stuff, but they sometimes miss those details, and it's up to you to check all those details to help that investigation you're actively pursuing. By law, you have to have that stamp. So for this lobster clasp, I had to use the jeweler's loop, and you could see very faintly the 585, which it is a 14 karat gold lobster clasp. I doubt that people making fake jewelry are going to take the time to do that detail, but anything you buy usually has that stamp, whether it's 14, 18, 22 karat. The clasp itself is stamped with the gold purity. Depending on the circumstance, if it's a used chain, it's been around, you can examine the chain, the bracelet itself. When doing so, always look at the high friction areas, because that's where the plating, that's where the secrets lie. In between a Cuban link, this is a brand new 9mm Jacoji Cuban link. I don't have fake used jewelry sitting around, so I'm just using it as an example. Check in between those links. You want to find a consistent coloring pattern of something, and that would be a tarnish, a fade, a different color. It has to be consistent. That's when you're gonna know it's most likely fake. I know there's a lot of chains and a lot of people are flocking to these Michael Jackson pieces that they think they're gonna get the real thing for the lesser price, and it's never gonna fade, never gonna do anything. But over time, guys, I promise you, consistently it will fade and it will show its true colors. That's why just buy the real thing. If you want something yellow gold, buy yellow gold. There's no cutting corners because, like I said, eventually it's gonna show. So examine that piece and look for any coloring inconsistencies, especially in the high friction areas. For rope chain, I'm just twisting it across the camera, and that's where those high friction areas will be. So take a look at those areas to see if there's any coloring difference, fade, tarnishing going on. I'll say it a third time because it is the charm. The only way to truly know is to get it professionally tested like this XRF. Don't do the scratch test. I would not say that is professionally testing it. But here at Jacoje.com, we invest a lot of money in this piece of machinery to run all the items through. We believe in adding extra layers and filters to ensure the quality and the purity is exactly what you pay for. Even though we buy from the top manufacturers in the world and very comfortable doing so, it's just a good extra step to have, because buying gold, especially online, we are an online store only. You have to be certain, and customers like you guys need to be sure. That is a big point I want to make. Sometimes things are too good to be true. Buy from a trusted source. If you're gonna buy on eBay, see if they have reviews. Don't just buy a random chain because it is cheap at spot price and it's just a random user. Go towards reliable sources that you know and trust, that take the necessary steps to ensure the product and the quality they are selling is top notch. That is the best way to do so. If it's a trusted family or friend, use these tips, check out the chain to just examine it, but most likely it's gonna be legit. There's just, most of the people out there are decent people, but there are that small percent that you gotta watch for. Knowledge is key, knowledge is power. A smart consumer is the best consumer. Thank you guys for watching. That's it for today's video, and we'll see you on our next jewelry video.